Hey everybody, back with it's got Jansen here, back with another ACH and Advanced Conversational Hypnotherapy training interview. Today we have the amazing therapist Aaron, who is basically going to quickly share his experience that he's just finished the last ACH training and the incredible stuff that he's been doing with his paid clients using this style of conversational hypnosis and all that good stuff in between. So firstly, man, thank you for jumping on.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go all the way back, man. How did you get into the whole hypnotherapy and coaching? I know a little bit about your background, but sort of just tell everybody, how did you get into this field?
I was always interested in hypnosis and, Darren Brown, watching cool stuff, street hypnosis.
Yeah.
So I, dabbled a little bit in the books and had a little bit of a practice and had a lot of fun with it. And then sort of came a time in my life where I wanted to change a career from being a personal trainer of 20 years and really understood at the time the impact of the mind can have on not only, personal training, but on all aspects. So decided to do some training, become a clinical hypnotherapist. And I learned a lot about the mind. I learned, a lot of excellent things. And so that's where I started, just with my qualifications and then helping families and friends, and then decided to take it a little bit more seriously.
Awesome. So when you did your initial training, what were the biggest things that you learnt?
So number one was preparing your script.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it was really important for where I learned was to allow the person to relax, get them in a comfortable position,
Mm-hmm.
really formulate the correct suggestions that this person will need. And, through this therapy over maybe 6 to 7 sessions, this person's going to feel a lot better about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. When you were seeing clients or just even friends and family, what type of stuff were you working with? It was sort of like a mixed bag, or was it a specific type of problem?
It was primarily at the time, it was anxiety, stress-related issues, people suffering from panic attacks. Really just over worry and overthinking was a lot what I was dealing with.
Okay. And obviously you jumped into our 100K program first and then decided to do the ACH. What made you want to join ACH? I'm always curious because obviously everyone's coming from a background of, really good, solid therapy trainings. What made you jump into ACH?
Well, the truth is, Scott, your 100K program is amazing, and it gave me, well, it has given me the nuts and bolts to run a business. But when it came to the results, that things became a bit iffy, because I often found that I was having great successes at the start, but the more people I did, I'd often find that the results weren't so cut and dry.
Okay.
I'd often people that would sort of, it was a really great session, Aaron. I felt tremendously relaxed, but I'm still anxious.
Okay.
Can we do another session? And I do another session and really put a lot of work into finding the right solution for these people. And it didn't seem to matter what I did. Some people would respond really well and other people would have a great experience, but it just wouldn't solve their problem. And then when I started realizing that you were actually teaching conversational hypnosis, I wanted to jump in straight away, because it's something that I've delved in for many years. I bought thousands of dollars worth of courses from gurus that have been teaching such thing. And the knowledge was great. And it was, when you're trying to learn from 32 DVDs and the information there just becomes so overwhelming that the truth was I never really used it.
Okay.
I couldn't put it into practice. I would, run by my script, and then sometimes people weren't falling into trance, so I'd ad lib, and that's where it often helped me. But I just needed something else. And when I started seeing that your students were getting these breakthroughs by just having a conversation, and the results were a little bit, I have to see this for myself. So what I did was I booked in with the session with one of your students, a fellow member of the 100K program. And I was a bit mystified, because being a therapist myself and knowing what hypnosis is, I would say that I'm not easily hypnotized.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall for that, just, you can forget a few numbers here and there. And I'm just too logical in thinking that. But it was interesting that when I had this session, I realized that I just have to stop and think. And I'd be thinking for a moment, and I'd be, and was starting to get, what could I say? It was like, I just say the information that I needed to know, and I had my eyes open. And the therapist, his name was Aaron, absolutely fantastic, just seemed to be guiding me. And as soon as he finished that, I was just like, okay, how can I get into this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So with the past conversation hypnosis training, that's more like the language patterns and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, language patterns. It was also, teaching a little bit of covert hypnosis, how to revivicate trance, how to get people into trance. But it really wasn't breaking down the simplicity of solving a problem.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people miss is the therapeutic part. But that's really the only thing that counts. And you know that now, the trance, the revivs, the lang train, you can use any of that stuff to create the trance. But now you know, wow, that's the least of my worries. I want to do the therapy and have the breakthrough. And as a byproduct of that, if the trance happens, so be it. If it doesn't, so be it. All that matters is they had the breakthrough.
And that's what often.
Yeah. So you jumped into the ACH. Day one's always, it works in really two ways. Either people get it and go like, holy shit, I've been overcomplicating this. Or they say like, what the hell is this? It makes sense, but like how? It seems too simple. What was the sort of reaction for you?
Well, when I decided to dive into this, I dived in head first. So I got your Udemy programs, the fitter formula, the conversational hypnosis, just to see if I could get the basic nuts and bolts. And really, you're not really understanding a lot, and you sort of just got to understand what you're saying is just do this, forget about everything, and let the client do the work. And that was probably the hardest thing to do. Like, even though when I'd done the training, we still have this urge to try and solve our clients' problems.
Yeah.
That's when the light bulb went off, that why my previous therapy hadn't been as successful as I like. Because I care for people, and these people come in, they were worried, they were anxious, and all with everything in my heart, I wanted to help them and solve them and give them a solution. And now I look back, and the sessions that I've done, I could not write the solution for those people.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people had a symptom that was worry, being anxious, panic attacks. But that wasn't actually the cause of the problem. And just through what I've learned from you, and it's actually remarkably easy if you just allow it to happen. Everyone finds the resources to the problems that they've unconsciously created.
That's right. And you hit the nail on the head. Like, and it's always dumbfounded me. And I say this to people, like, what are you preparing for? What are you writing a script for? You don't even know what the problem is. The client doesn't even have a clue. You don't have a clue. So those hours spent like preparing things and sort of panicking and putting pressure on yourself, like, oh my God, I stopped smoking, I don't like smoking. You're not solving that anyway. And a lot of the time, as you probably found out with your practice as well, you can get quite deep into this root cause thing. But even then, there might be stuff that's not uncovered that you have to know about, or even the client has to know about, but that gets fixed and sorted out just along the way in the parameters that we set as well.
Exactly.
So you got to see the demos. That's always a big aha moment for people. What was it like to see the demos, like where some students say, like, I think one of them was, I've got COVID breathing problems. We've had anxiety. We had weight loss. We've had stop smoke. We've had pretty much driving anxiety. We've had everything. What's it been like to see, like, wow, I can use the same principles regardless of where the problem starts?
It takes the pressure off the therapist.
Yeah.
Because even now, after doing, 100 plus sessions, and I know that I can't prepare for them, sometimes I'll just want to make myself feel better. And I might go and read a few stories, some metaphors, and think, oh, just in case, and I've never used them. And the more sessions I do, the realize that it's just best to make a cup of tea, relax, and just let it happen.
Yeah. What's been the most surprising thing that's sort of come up working with people in this ACH way?
So many. We've had things, releasing beliefs that have held people back from creating a business for 20 years. We've had children that have been having panic attacks for 7 years and thinking that they possibly could get kidnapped,
Wow.
to a week later sleeping with their window open.
Yeah.
It's remarkable that when the person really discovers the solution for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they understand them. And as we know, we've got family and friends they'll tell us things in all their love, and it doesn't matter how much they tell us. It's not until we decide or find out something for ourselves that do we really take it on board. And that's exactly what ACH allows us to do.
Yeah. What's it like now? There's no prep, no scripts, nothing you need to do beforehand, nothing you really need to do afterwards, no audios, no nothing. What's that like for you as far as efficiency and time as a business owner as well?
Fantastic. Like literally not having to prepare, not having to create anything. I mean, I literally use my past recordings just as some fun to give to clients because it's something for them to listen to.
Oh.
But I tell them myself that once again, this isn't going to help. It's out to you that did the healing yourself.
Yeah. Once the problem's gone, the problem's gone.
That's it.
So what do you think ACH, what gaps does that sort of filled in your understanding with therapy and hypnosis and stuff like that?
It's actually given me the confidence that I actually am a therapist now, where before even though I'd been taught all the steps to do, it still didn't make me feel confident because I didn't have that confidence in myself that everyone's problem is going to get solved. And even now, I can't guarantee that someone's problem can get solved, but I can guarantee if someone really genuinely wants to open their mind and resolve their issue, and they're there for the right reasons, they'll have a massive breakthrough in some case.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel genuine to be actually say I can help you rather than, okay, I've been told I can help you, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what part of the ACH do you reckon is giving you that most confidence? Is it like the interview process part that we do, the therapy, the testing, the tasking, processing? What do you think has been the biggest aha moment for you?
Breaking it down into the nuts and bolts, removing the language patterns, removing the suggestions, and learning actually how to delve into the problem and get the client to look at that problem. And that's literally what it is. Get them to look at the problem and let's rearrange it.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just, and it seems too simple, but that's exactly what is necessary. Like for a client just to get real insight into what the problem is enough for it to collapse and break down. There's no need to do any symbolisms, no need to turn it into your inner child and hug it. There's no need to forgive it. You don't have to do anything. As you found out, we set the parameters and say, hey, stay in this place here, sit there and really consider this whole thing. And I'll just be here to keep your attention in the right places. And that's really your job now.
I genuinely start to feel a little bit like the master Milton Erickson.
Yeah.
When we watch the videos and we realize that most of the hypnotherapy scripts that I was learning came from sessions that Milton had.
Yeah.
And Milton never scripted them. And now I can understand the way that he worked was just working with the client, and they can do everything if we just know how to open up the box. And
that's right.
ACH is just, it's absolutely magic, Scott. It really is. I can't rave about it enough. It's allowed me to actually build my business, because without it, I seriously didn't have that confidence that I could do this.
How long were you spending beforehand, like prepping and sort of putting pressure on yourself and trying to learn language patterns and all that? Like how much time are you putting into that?
I could almost spend, a couple of hours just reviewing things that I'd already even written, just looking for how can I enhance this, what's something that goes wrong. And it just sort of get to the point where I just sort of go, I just have to give up and hope that this works. And hoping that something works doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah, there's no confidence in that. And we know that most of our communication is nonverbal. So clients hear that catch in your voice. They hear that slight hesitation in what you do. And that's enough for, as we've talked about, for that sort of resistance to come up. So into the future, man, like last question, what are you looking most forward to, knowing that you're really at the start of ACH and you've already done incredible things, you know it's going to get better and better. What are you most looking forward to having mastered this?
I'm most looking forward to really being able to break out and help people understand that the problems that we create within ourselves, whether unconsciously or consciously, have an answer.
Yeah.
And no one else is going to have that answer, but we have the answer. And when you meet a specialist that knows how to unbox that, not through scripts, but through simple conversation and rapport, amazing things can happen. And just about every session that I have, if I can feel that person is there and they want that result, you can see it. At the end of the session, they become a different person.
Yeah, you know what's sort of crazy is you're going to be doing this session, and if anyone ever gets a chance to watch the incredible things that you do, they're going to say, hang on, where's the language pattern? Where's the trance? Where's the hypnosis? Where's the eye closure? Where's the deepener? And you're at a place where you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. The only thing is untie the knots, do the therapy. If that other stuff happens, so be it. If it doesn't matter. As long as a client has a result, that other stuff is irrelevant.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. I know you're super busy. So for anyone watching this, if you're interested in getting in touch with Aaron, are you happy to share your niche, Aaron, like the type of client you're working with? And we'll leave your details below this video.
Sure. So I'm working with anybody that needs to break through with their limitations, whether they're business entrepreneurs or sporting athletes. You've got something you need to overcome, and you've got self-doubt, you increase that confidence. Go to my website, breakthrough.ninja, and you'll see some fantastic reviews there from my previous clients. And for any other therapists watching, if you're lacking confidence in your therapy, stop wasting time and check out the ACH demos that Scott has on YouTube, and even delve into some of those Udemy courses. And I guarantee I'll see you at the next training. Yeah, well, look, I appreciate that, man. We're gonna leave Aaron's details below, guys. Trust me, I've seen the testimonials and they'll blow you away. So definitely go check those out. Catch up with Aaron for a chat. You can see him all over social media as well, but I'll leave those below, guys. But Aaron, thank you so much, man. I'll see you in the Facebook group. I'll definitely see you in the next ACH training, and good luck with your clients coming up. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Aaron. Thank you.